Hey kids, welcome back. We're on the road again, going up north, Auburn, Indiana, to the Ford V-8 Museum. Up there, they focus on the flathead Ford V-8. Lots of history there. Long run for that engine. Kind of pretty much, I'd say, one of the cornerstones of hot rodding, and some interesting stuff. And for a small museum, I was really impressed with the presentation. So let's check it out. Okay, here's the exterior of the building. If you don't recognize that architectural style, it's definitely a tribute to a pretty famous building that was built for the World's Fair, I believe in Chicago, dismantled and reassembled in Detroit, and was actually a vacation destination for many years. It's called the Ford Rotunda. Pretty cool place. Unfortunately, destroyed by fire, and never came back, but they decided to honor it. So here's a couple photos of that. Well, if you didn't know you're in the right place, the walkway with flathead cylinder heads might give you a clue. Well, hey, apologies in advance if I skip around here. There's so much to see. We'll take it right off the bat here. There's kind of like a training chassis to show what the 32 Ford was all about. Lots of deuces in here, if you're familiar with that term. Definitely get the old man and somebody talking up there. Rumble seat in the back, pretty cool. This is pretty interesting, kind of experiment with automatic transmission. I kind of had this thing worked out. I think it was just a little too kind of not perfected to go to market, but basically vacuum controlled clutch did the shifting for you way back then with a flathead. Hank the Deuce there, probably seen that guy before, and I think that's his brother's up on top there. Some Ford memorabilia in here. I'm not sure what those are, but there's so many Ford branded things. I mean, it just totally injected its way into pop culture and society. But definitely all the stuff in here is just a quality restoration. I didn't see anything that was kind of stuck together just as a as a prop or a stand-in. But yeah, my dad loved this. Definitely his favorite era cars there. The 37 Ford, and that's the most beautiful car. I think it's pretty neat that they've got, you see on the end there, they got the Lincoln Zephyr, which is kind of how they pulled the style down into the lower price Ford. So you felt like you got a much more expensive car, which that's what I think Ford in that era was all about, was value. It's like all right, we're going to give you more than what a basic transportation is. Definitely with the V8. I mean, it blew everybody's mind that you could afford one. So the whole point of this museum, right? I don't know if that's a trainer cutaway engine or that's for trade shows and sales tool kind of thing. But several of these in here, they got a bunch of really cool display engines, which is it's pretty unusual, Well, for a car museum, they've got cars, but kind of moving up through the evolution of the 30s Fords there to the streamlined modern era into post-war slab-sided kind of atomic age stuff. Yeah, my favorite, the 35 Ford, doesn't get the representation I think it deserves. If you've never seen the movie Chinatown with Jack Nicholson, he's got a pretty cool one in there, so check that out. Definitely kind of a transitional model. As I was talking about earlier, lots of products, got the Ford brand put on them. I mean, they just, became a part of the American life. That's not a, pitch for Ford versus Chevy or anything like that. I mean, it just was. I mean, Ford kind of made owning a car, in this era, owning a cool car, within reach. It wasn't just something that rich people could get and look cool with. And that expressed itself in a lot of ways. This is just I did not expect this. Pretty much kind of a, I guess, idealized version of a 1936 Ford dealership. Obviously they wouldn't have stuff like that, sitting around there, but with the way they've got the cars positioned and, like that quote there, just a little bit of the thinking of the time and what you might have seen, maybe not in this exact kind of preparation, but dealerships used to be more like going to the jewelry store or a boutique or something, at least in a bigger city, you could really kind of immerse yourself in the experience because they wanted you to, get into that brand. I mean, pretty cool here. Got the toolkit that's whether that came with it or not or was available. Pretty neat. I think I got some of these pieces laying around the shop there. Riches, for various tasks and things that you just don't see anymore. Definitely, types of tools. Grease gun and the monkey wrench in there, things like that are definitely an anachronism. But you get to see, in this whole setup here, based on 1936 models, the kind of design language that carried through everything. I mean, I got this dump bed truck there. I mean, no doubt it's a Ford, and it's got enough. That's pretty much like the Jack Nicholson car I was talking about earlier from Chinatown. But it's a truck for sure, but it's a Ford and it's a 36. Back when I was in industrial design era, you kind of see these colors are kind of subdued. Supposedly they started the economy, so this is the Depression year, and you see not a whole lot of bright stuff. But this little Mullins trailer, I've never seen one. It kind of used to be sort of the thing that street rods were pulling behind them because it matched the styling, but never seen one in person. Mullins red cap. Who knows what a red cap is? It's definitely a job that doesn't exist anymore. But like I said about the colors here, very subdued. Supposedly bright colors are popular on when the economy's up, and you get these kind of muted, more, I guess, subtle, downplayed hues in the struggle years for the economy. And seems to be kind of true. You look back at the Roaring 20s, and the cars are like, pumpkin orange and lavender and just over the top. Really bright, bouncy, happy colors. And then it's a little more restrained here, but they still made the shape exciting. And 36, that's a customizer's favorite there. I mean, I like them all. I mean, they just didn't make a bad year in the 30s with a lot of cars outside of Ford, but definitely you see a lot of custom 36 Fords. Stay away from the 35s, which, like I said earlier, is my favorite. But this is just a beautiful car right there. I mean, I think it's something similar in the print back here. That's the cool thing about this museum that I mentioned is the presentation. There's they got it all. I mean, there's too many museums that it's just like a parking garage. They're just set up there and okay, here you go. It may be some amazing piece that is one of a one kind of thing, but it just doesn't feel that way when they don't follow through the presentation. This place was a real treat because they did. I mean, we're actually inside the rotunda that we saw when we pulled up out there. Pretty cool spot to put this thing, which is blew my mind. I'd heard of these, never seen one. This is stainless steel, man. I mean, it's kind of hard to photograph. That's why I got the camera pointed down here, because it's going to flash back. I'm trying to get it on around the backside where we're in shadow here. But when I worked for a commercial fan company, I know stainless was 5 times more than mild steel, which is what car bodies are typically made of. But like a DeLorean, it's kind of a lifelong proposition. It's not invincible. I mean, stainless is not totally corrosion proof. It's corrosion resistant, but it's definitely harder to form and just deal with any process. I mean, drilling, welding, whatever. But man, they made one. Look at that. That's something else there. I mean, this thing, it is not going to come through. You got to see it in person. It's not going to come through on this video, but it almost looks like it's not real. It's so cool. But hey, they tried it. You know, this is a new era kind of stuff. You know, what can we do? How can we make it better? Another kind of breakdown chassis to show you the mechanicals. You know, what's underneath the skin. You know, beauty's only skin deep kind of thing. They're showing you what's going on, whether that was for mechanics or a sales tool or whatever. I don't know. Again, you know, a commercial vehicle here, but that, you know, looks like the rest of the product line. They're showing you, what you can do with it, whether or not this was in a dealership or not. Kind of multifunction seat you're talking about there. Get you know, whether that's a real business or not. Pretty cool and very typical. You know, that's what that panel on the back there. You know, what else are you gonna do with it? You know, use it for advertising, but yeah, a little bit of a hotter color there. Pretty neat on this one on the left here. But yeah, this is a bummer for me because I used to have a vacuum cleaner like this, and I think I threw it in the trash or something like that. Worked like a top, invincible. Would have lasted another 100 years, but yeah, all that old stuff did back then, right? Look at this thing. Would you throw a package or, you know, parts or tools or whatever in the back of that? I mean, they certainly did. You know, that was a work truck more or less. I had read that the wood body cars like this, that Henry held them to plus or minus a 16th, which I'm not a woodworker, but I think that's pretty tough for a finish carpenter in a lot of things, and they probably don't care, don't need to care. But on a car, working with, you know, live media like this, trying to get it that straight, that's pretty tough. So I'd say he had some aces in the business to get him that straight to where they would work. But definitely not sure how they made money with those things, all the labor involved. But yeah, this little pickup, it's just beautiful. Kind of a crazy looking display stand there. I don't know why the plug wires are disconnected, but yeah, Fenton headers. I'm not sure that was even around in 36, but hey, so what? But, you know, get the parts counter back here, kind of showing you one-stop shop, I suppose. Going to the dealership and check out what they got and take care of your car. Definitely in a smaller town, probably. You know, that's where you went to get what you needed. You know, wasn't the aftermarket that we have today, where you got 24 different brands competing for this. I don't know if that's something they build or what, but it definitely kind of a radio, pretty cool. But yeah, I love that kind of inverted V-8 logo that they threw out there. I definitely wanted to kind of step on the other two of the low price three, you know, Chevrolet and Plymouth, or at least the bigger brands there, didn't have anything equivalent to what you're going to get with a Ford. You know, get the V8 engine and higher line styling, kind of big car styling there. But yeah, I'd say this probably should have been up front. That's probably the most expensive Ford they had that year. I mean, I would think. I don't know. Beautiful car though. Now we're getting into the, you know, what lovingly call, I guess, the shoebox section there, but pretty cool pace car reproduction. I think that car was on the track when they had the front-wheel drive Miller Tucker cars. Pretty neat, you know, V12 version of the old flathead in here for the Lincoln automobiles. It says this is a 53. I thought this was kind of unusual because our family had a 53 ranch wagon, and the paint was kind of worn off, but I swear it was orange. I mean, almost like a Chevy orange. So who knows? You know, it's old enough. Even when we were driving it in the 80s, could have been painted, but don't remember it being green. You know, back in the room where we started, these things are pretty neat. I mean, but I think they're kind of tacky, really. I mean, just kind of trying to doll up a car that didn't need it, but definitely trend-setting for Ford for sure. I got all the fenders integrated into the body, moving ahead towards what we would consider like a modern car shape. Left side here, got the ever popular 40 Ford and some Mercuries and some Biff Tannen era 42, 46 Fords, and got my favorite, my shoebox that I had, 51 Ford, even though it's a 4-door, I had a 2-door sedan, but the one that got away kind of thing. Definitely a beautiful piece of machinery here. Some crazy carburation setup there. I know me and my dad went and looked at a 53 Merc, I think, and it had some weird carb like that. 53 Ford there, love that. Maybe I'll get another one someday. We had a ranch wagon, 2-wheel wagon. Pretty neat, fun car to drive. Nothing sounds like a flathead, man, I'll tell you. If you haven't heard one running, it's doesn't matter how fast it goes, it just sounds cool. It's more kind of tangential stuff here, signage from the rotunda and pictures, and I think there's some renderings of what they're going to do with the building up above it. Yeah, some concepts of how they could make their museum, which is kind of fun. See how you got to where you're at. I think this is a bunch of clocks, maybe kind of an evolution, which is neat to kind of focus on one aspect of it. Something that I wouldn't think anything about, but cars are just, it's all kind of generic now. I think with the gauges, I mean, you could show you a gauge from XYZ and you'd be like, well, what's that from? But you pull this out and show them all. That's a Ford, man. Or maybe even if you knew them well enough, you could say what year it was. Like a lot of museums, they got a lot of artifacts and they're trying to pack them in. So we're running into a little hallway here where they get some bricks from some factory buildings with plaques on it, identifying where they are, and just some other things. I mean, just interesting stuff, but they just got to pack it in there. It's like there's just not enough room to give it the attention that it needs. But cool stuff. Like I said, we are definitely rushing through this. Come out here, spend your time, check all of it out. And the other 2 museums up in Auburn. Track roads are pretty neat. I think they said it was a V-8 62, which is kind of odd, but definitely cool. Sharp looking car. This is kind of the speed parts section of it. I mean, they got manifolds, magnetos, cylinder heads. I mean, a lot of stuff I'd heard of, a lot more stuff I had not heard of. There's a museum in Nebraska, Speedway Motors, the Speedy Bill passed away, but he's got all the flathead stuff, but they've got quite a bit of it here. I mean, Eddie Meyer and just some crazy, I don't know if that's Hellborn injection, which just got shut down recently, sadly, but I got some of those little reflectors too, man. I mean, I love seeing this kind of stuff. Whether it's worth any money or not, it's neat to have the history. Yeah, they got the fins carved off something because those were illegal in some racing class. They got aftermarket iron performance heads that had a better combustion design than the stock ones. They've got the optional aluminum, or not optional, but aluminum heads that were on the flatheads for a year or two, using those. I mean, racing classes are pretty crazy. They dictate all kinds of stuff to try to make it fair, and racers always figure out a way around it, right? But lots of variety up in here. Something I think we're coming up on here. Yeah, it's kind of stacked up there, pretty tight. There's a manifold up here that is pretty cool. Magnetos, yeah. Got a kind of a pretty cool explanation if you take time to read it. There you go, from the thumbnail. That's what I'd call a full house flathead for sure. Grand Core. I think that was kind of like Krager, kind of two guys. This one right here, Ralph's Muffler Shops. That's got to be the same family, the Potter family from Indy. I don't know, can't prove it, but I'm got to find that out, because Ralph's Muffler Shops is a big deal in Indianapolis, where I grew up, and makes sense that they made manifolds too, because they made an engine, the Potter V6 for Circle Trek stuff. But I mean, it's overwhelming. That's what I'm saying. There's so much to look at here. And kind of showing you a little bit inside what's going on. They got a little pretty cool signboard talking about ported and relieved and stroked and bored. If you ever heard the Beach Boys song, they kind of break it down what all that means. If you don't know, or if you know part of it, or yeah, pretty sure a lot of high performance stuff going on here for cars, at least. This little race car next to it, I do not know what is powering that. There's no information. I mean, it's not sure what that is. Pretty cool. Let me know in the comments if you know, because it's pretty neat. It looks like a purpose-built race engine, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, I need one of these, but I don't need one of these, but I need one of these. Yep, Ford 9N. Yep, those. I don't know how many years they made those, but man, they look pretty cool. It's like looks like a high boy tractor or something like that. I think I had a pair of those pliers actually in the shop. But yeah, they got kind of a little kind of farm ag section here of, Ford grew up on a farm, and he wanted to make the farmer's life easier, so definitely made some pretty good tractors for a long time. This is just out of sight here. Don't know what the story is. Don't care. It's just awesome. Turbine powered Ford tractor, because why not? But kind of get some more service oriented stuff here. Yeah, they got like a barn wall built. It's pretty neat. Lots of there's just so much stuff. Like you said, it's overwhelming. Pretty cool. Cab over wrecker here. Got some fire apparatus next to it. Got a Circle Track car and some other race parts and things. I mean, it just we gotta keep moving, because there's too much going on, and we're getting into a long video here. But yeah, I mean, like I said, presentation. I mean, they got all the stuff, got all the hardware, got all the accessories. What you'd expect to see on a vehicle like this. This was unexpected. This is the marine section of it. The flathead and boats on the water. So all the things to convert it to make it run on the water. Lots of manufacturers doing all kinds of stuff, because hey, why not? They knew it made power, knew people had them, and you could take it and put it in your boat and get something done. I don't know that Ford really did anything with boats, but the aftermarket did. Hey, I got one of those heaters, man. South Bend heaters, South Wind heaters. Stuart Warner, I think, is the manufacturer of that. There's a Stuart Warner plant in Indianapolis. I don't know if they made those heaters or not, but hey, I got one. Maybe I'll hook it up. Gasoline heater. Sounds scary, but my Corvair has them, so who knows? Didn't kill everybody, so might be safe. We'll find out. Kind of looking back into the performance area and back and across into the dealership. But here's that wrecker. Big bad boy. Little school bus. The little don't cross semaphore, what do you call that? Kind of evolution of distributor mounts. Again, kind of one of those things. It's like I don't care, but check it out, because it's everybody thinks that like a small block Chevy, everything's the same from the start to the end. Well, it's not. Same with the flathead. It's little differences. They were trying to make it better every year. found out something didn't work, they made something a little better. These are, I would assume, restoration projects that museums got going on. Yeah, it's lots of changes with school bus, taxi cabs, etc. Got some more kind of Ford branded pop culture stuff. Not sure what's going on there. The red vest or whatever, but you say, come out and check it out and take your time, look at it a little bit better than I have right here. It's just a kind of an overview of what you can see. It was not a lot of money. I think it was $8 or something to get in here, so it's definitely worth it. Lots of stuff to see. Massive die-cast collection going on here. I don't know the history of that, but again, another medium duty truck there. Get some power generation stuff back here, air compressors and just a generator. What's going on? And a flathead 6-cylinder. Yep, pretty. Heard the old man was pretty resistant to doing that, but they made them. More toolkits probably go with that. Looks like they got something they're putting together here. Look at the simplicity of that. 3 main bearings. I mean, it looks like a glorified lawnmower. But hey, if it broke, you could fix it. And if it had a weak spot, you had some guys coming back from World War II that were pretty good fabricators and mechanics that filled in the gaps and made them go. Before Detroit caught up with them, they made the flathead a legend. Yeah, this is too much. You could spend hours looking at this stuff. This is someone's collection that has it displayed here in the museum. I mean, a lot of stuff is Hot Wheels and things like that you've probably seen, but there's all kinds of old Tootsie Toy and limited production. If you're into the smaller scale kind of collectible stuff, I mean it's impressive. There's things are all over the world, Europe, Japan, whatever, different eras. Lots of one-on-one stuff sitting in this case right here. Pretty cool to look at if you're into that segment of the hobby, and you can spend a little bit of time here for sure, a lot of time here checking it out. Like I said, we're just kind of speeding through it here, unfortunately or fortunately. I don't want this to get so long nobody watches it, but yep, they got a kind of little mini garage built back here too. Got some breakdowns, cutaways of axles and transmissions and stuff. Kind of separate from the engines, of course, but neat to see. It's whether it's for training or just for advertising purposes. Got a Ford-O-Matic transmission split in half there. Show you what's going on there. I'm not sure if that's for sales purposes or for training, but pretty cool to see it. It's people don't think about the complexity of these things, and this is 70 years ago that they were making stuff like this. So no computers, no CAD, all done on paper. Pretty impressive. So get to kind of see what's inside of that if you're curious. Definitely a lot that went into it back then that I wouldn't say it's easier, but because it's more complicated now, but definitely quite an accomplishment. This is another one of those cases where they've got more artifacts than they got space, but it's still worth coming in here. I mean, look, I can get right up on top of this, and I'm being respectful, and you need to be too. They're not chasing me around, pushing me away from stuff. You can get right up on top of it and check it out. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. If that's some kind of diagnostics or that's really a part, like a tunnel ram or something. But yep, get a tool roll here with a bunch of pieces, parts. Don't know what's going on with a lot of this stuff, but they're trying to show it to you. Get some spark plug wrenches and things sitting there, old toolboxes and advertisements, and you name it, man. I mean, they want to show you what they got. So, they probably need to build on, but that costs big money. Like I said in the beginning, museums are dropping like flies. So get out there and throw them a little bit of money, and let's try to keep them around. But some diagnostic machines, some boards for gaskets and parts and pieces. Typical stuff you'd see in a dealership or a service shop of the era. Nothing like that around these days. Amazing that this stuff has survived, for sure. It's obsolete. Hey, I got some old Allen diagnostic equipment. Guy was going to cut it up and make a bar cart or something for his party deck on it, which would have been cool, but it would have destroyed it. And it's beat up and old what I got, but it stayed around. And that's probably the story for a lot of this stuff. It was getting ready to get thrown away, and somebody grabbed it and cleaned it up and put it in the museum here. Kind of show you this is how they used to do it. This was high tech for 20s, 30s, 40s. Hard to believe, but cool. We're pretty clever people as a society. Get your bulb selector there, I guess. You're buying pieces, parts, some more diagnostic stuff down here, electronics. Just a whole lot to soak in, that's for sure. Little service writer's desk. Got something similar in my shop, much newer, but advertisements. Who knows what? Little. I don't know what the heck that is. Spring compressor or something like that. Drain pans for oil changes. Just don't know. Just so much. They said, if you stare and kind of stare at it, kind of learn something just from looking at it. But it's definitely sensory overload, and I encourage you to check it out. There's seen a lot of those actually at Grindstone Charlie's in Indianapolis on the west side. They got some of those kind of orange posters that I just showed you hanging up on the wall. Pretty impressive. Some endorsement from the big man there, talking about guarantee his parts or who knows what. But get some works in progress kind of stuff back here. Kind of getting almost out the back side of it. I don't know. Spare parts, who knows. But yeah, it's all open. You can just go check it out. Not sure what's going on with these little models here, but pretty cool. Something to check out. Well, hey, there's another one in the can. How'd you like that one? I thought it was pretty good. If you get up that way, or you can get over to where that museum's at somehow on a vacation or whatever, I encourage you to kind of hit all three, because there's two on one side of the interstate and one on the other, and I've covered them all at this point. The museum that we just saw, Auburn Duesenberg Museum, I mean, that's worldwide famous, and Natmas too, which has some pretty cool stuff. It's all on the channel if you want to check it out. Kill a day if you got that time. Go up there and check them all three out. The admission is pretty cheap, and the museums are like racetracks; they're dropping like flies. So get out there, support them. Buy a T-shirt, sticker. They got unique books that just aren't as easy to get, even if they are online. They usually got a gift shop there, and go hang out with your dad or your son or daughter or whoever, your best buddy, and check it out and kind of maybe relive some memories. And every place at the museum very friendly. So I'm going to task you to do that, and encourage you to check it out. It's a lot of fun. If you like what you saw, please let us know. Do that homework, please. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll get back to you. We'd like to hear what you think, and we're going to keep doing it anyway. So hope to see you next time. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you later on Smith Motorworks.